Now on 18 Eyewitness News.
And coming up on 18 Eyewitness News, the FBI is currently looking into multiple bomb threats at Fredericktown businesses. Also, Clay Waller's prosecutors are asking for a new judge to oversee his trial. Plus, children's immunizations need to be up to date before they start back to school. All of these stories, and will temperatures cool down for the St. Francis County Fair? We'll see.
Coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
And now here's our top story. The FBI is investigating multiple bomb threats in Fredericktown. The Walmart there received its third threat in just 5 days Tuesday morning. As on Friday evening and Monday afternoon, the store was evacuated. Similar threats were also received against Fredericktown City Hall and McDonald's. Those locations were also evacuated and searched. While the first threat was an automated call made to the store, it's being reported that the latest threats were made by an individual to Madison County Dispatch. Authorities have recordings of the calls. However, it seems the caller is using some sort of program or application designed to mask or alter the caller ID number, making it very difficult to trace. We are continuing to follow this developing story, and we will have more information and details as it becomes available. Now Dustin's here with a look at our first forecast. Dustin?
Good evening, Aaron. Good evening, everybody. Another hot day here in southeast Missouri, but some relief is on the way. Current conditions through southeast Missouri, 97 in Festus and St. Genevieve, as well as in Fredericktown, 96 in Piedmont, Van Buren at 96 and 96 in Poplar Bluff. As we head through the evening hours, we're going to continue to be on the warm side, mostly sunny skies at 7 p.m., 96 degrees, clear skies by 9, 87, and partly cloudy, and 72 at midnight. And here's a look at the drought through southeast Missouri. The majority of the state is under the extreme drought. However, portions down to our south are under the exceptional part of the drought. And then we've got in the yellow that severe drought. And it's pretty bad out there. We've seen pretty much drought-like conditions for the last several months, and we're going to continue to see that for a while unless we get some rainfall. I'll have more details on your forecast. That includes some rainfall. All those details coming up later in weather.
Just 1 day after James Clay Waller was bound over for trial in circuit court, prosecutors want a new judge. On Tuesday, Cape Girardeau County Associate Prosecutor Angel Woodruff filed the motion to remove Judge William Schuyler from the case. Waller is facing charges of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. He's accused of killing his estranged wife, Jackie, who disappeared last June 1st. Authorities allege Clay Waller killed Jackie after an argument over finances and their pending divorce. Waller's circuit court arraignment is set for August the 6th. With the school year starting in just a couple of weeks, parents are reminded to be sure their children's immunization records are now up to date. Jamie Colliot is a nurse with the Iron County Health Department, and she says after children turn 4, they can get their kindergarten booster.
Their DTaP, which protects them against diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis, which is the whooping cough, their polio shot, and their MMR and varicella, which is MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, and varicella is the chickenpox shot.
Jamie also says when children reach the 8th grade, there's another set of immunizations.
All children need their Tdap, which is the tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. It's one shot, and that guards them against the whooping cough and tetanus. And then they can also, whenever they go into the 8th grade, we're trying to catch them on your hepatitis A vaccines. They're the ones that they're optional, but they're really recommended because hepatitis A is what you get when someone doesn't wash their hands at a restaurant.
Jamie notes that children are also immunized for meningitis and the HPV virus at the age as well. She says immunizations can be done at your local health department and could be free under the Vaccines for Children program if parents meet specification criteria. There are 17 counties in Missouri without 911 service, including Wayne County. In most cases, the biggest hurdle is a lack of money. Stoddard County 911 Services Coordinator Administrator Carol Moreland says the problem is how funds are generated.
Missouri is the only state of the nation that doesn't have a wireless surcharge to help 911 with their expenses. We only get paid by landline taxes.
Carol says citizens need to contact their state lawmakers to change how 911 services are funded. In the meantime, she warns if you call 911 in a county without service, you need to be very clear where you are.
If you're calling from a wireless phone, 98% of the time you need to tell us where you're at. You need to know what your highway you're on, what direction you're going, what town you're near. You need to be oriented to your surroundings so you can tell us where you're at so we can send you help.
Carol says while 911 emergency calls are answered, the agency on the other end of the line probably doesn't have mapping or addressing software to show where you're at. And when we come back, the 139th Annual St. Francis County Fair officially opens. That story coming up only right here on 18 Eyewitness News.
When you're looking for quality home furnishings, appliances, and more, look no further than Heartland Furniture and Appliance. Heartland Furniture and Appliance offers great low prices every day and 6 months same as cash financing. No hassle leasing and great customer service. With 3 locations to better serve you, the customer. In Doniphan, Dexter, and Piedmont on both sides of Main Street. Heartland Furniture and Appliance.
Sing a song about the Heartland. Sing a song about my life.
Oh, the blood of Jesus washes. Let it wash you this morning. Oh, the blood of Jesus shed for me. What a sacrifice that saved my life. With the blood, it is my victory.
Take control of your future by enrolling at the Unitech Career Center. Discover a new career with Unitech's nursing programs or the opportunities with Unitech's sheet metal fabricating program, or turn your hobby into a career with Unitech's power sports equipment program. From electrical trades to automotive technology programs, the first step to a well-paying future starts at the Unitech Career Center, Raider Road in Bonne Terre. For adult information, call 358-3011. For high school information, call 358-2271.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins, Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp, and Jeremy Martin with sports. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
Wednesday marks the official opening of the 139th Annual St. Francis County Fair. When Fair Board member Jim Howard visited our 18 Eyewitness News studios, he told us they're doing something different this year with the carnival.
In past years, the carnivals, when they come in, they collect the money for the armbands. We as a fair board would get 20% of the proceeds. This year we went and we marketed a new carnival where we wouldn't get any proceeds.
Jim says the goal was to find a better class of carnival and make it more affordable for fairgoers.
Last year they was $20 armbands. We negotiated, if we do without our cut, let's bring it back to the people. This year it's going to be $12 armbands. Hopefully that will ease part of the pain in this economy to bring our folks back to the fair, let them experience what the fair is about. Maybe we'll grow from that aspect also.
The St. Francis County Fair runs through Saturday. Among the highlights this year is the Friday night concert with Trent Tomlinson, produced and sponsored by Froggy 96 and the Dawkins Broadcast Group. Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center is expanding its robotic surgery program. The hospital can now perform transoral robotic surgery for diseases of the head and neck, including some early-stage cancers. This specialized surgery is an alternative to invasive open surgery and full-dose chemoradiation. When 18 Eyewitness News spoke to CEO Charles Stewart, he said Poplar Bluff Regional is focused on bringing better medical services to our area.
Our goal is to move forward and bring a higher level of care to our communities that we serve, and to provide that in the most cost-efficient and quality way.
Stewart added patients' needs are the primary concern at the medical center.
People will want to utilize our services because we're putting them first.
Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center is the only hospital in the region to offer transoral robotic surgery. The St. Francis County Sheriff's Department is helping residents stay informed through their brand new smartphone app. Sheriff Dan Bullock says the app is especially helpful for crime victims.
You can actually go on there and track people, especially if you're a victim and you need to track someone that's a sexual predator or someone that maybe done a crime against you or somebody you just need to know where they're at there in jail. You can pull their picture up, you can see where they're at in the system.
Sheriff Bullock also says the app will list St. Francis's top 10 most wanted criminals. He notes that the app was free to the county.
But it doesn't cost the taxpayer or me or you anything. Attorneys and bonds people throughout the state of Missouri actually pay for this app and made it available to us, and a company called Apris actually set this up for us.
Sheriff Bullock also adds the app can be used to send out messages to the public very quickly. And still to come, what children who are born deaf are teaching researchers about dyslexia. Next in today's Your Health segment.
More hot weather is in store for southeast Missouri, but a little bit of relief with some thunderstorms on the way. I have all the details coming up next in weather.
When someone comes in a mental areas emergency department, our focus is giving them the best treatment in the quickest manner possible. We track every single patient, sending the doctors information before they even walk in the room. We have dedicated X-ray and CT equipment in our emergency department. We don't have to waste any time running all over the hospital. We know that minutes count in an emergency, and you can count on ER Plus at Mineral Area Regional Medical Center.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. Another hot day here in southeast Missouri, and more hot weather is on the way, but we do see some relief in sight. Looking at weather headlines for our area, as I said, hot times are going to continue. A chance of thunderstorms tomorrow through the weekend. And as I said earlier in the newscast, the drought continues on. Here in southeast Missouri, it's hot out there. Current conditions are on the warm side. It's 97 right now in Festus and St. Genevieve, 95 right now in Cape Girardeau, down to our south of Poplar Bluff, 96 right now in Piedmont, Van Buren at 96, and over in Ellington, 96 as well. Here at the station, we have a current temperature of 98 degrees under a mostly sunny sky. Feels like 100 out there with current dew point at 63, 30% humidity, and an east-northeast wind at 2 miles per hour. Going through the day tomorrow, there's a chance of some showers and thunderstorms up to our north. That'll essentially move down to our area, giving us a chance of showers and thunderstorms. But we are going to see that probably later on in the day for tomorrow. So for tonight, partly cloudy skies, low around 70 degrees, light to variable winds, 67 in Festus through Potosi, 68 in Ironton, Van Buren at 70, 71 in Piedmont, and Poplar Bluff at 73. Then for tomorrow, high around 100 degrees. Depending on if we get those showers or thunderstorms, temperatures will be around 100 degrees, 98 in Festus, 99 in St. Genevieve, 98 in Piedmont, Van Buren 98, and 98 in Poplar Bluff. The next several days are looking like this through southeast Missouri. Another chance of showers and thunderstorms on Friday. 96 for a daytime high. Saturday, the same thing. On Sunday, a little bit cooler, 94 with isolated thunderstorms. Monday through Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. Temperature around 97 on Monday, 98 on Tuesday, and 95 on Wednesday. Now look at our weekend forecast here in southeast Missouri. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Saturday and Sunday. High of 96 on Saturday and 94 on Sunday. That's check of your Storm Tracker weather forecast. More details we'll look at froggy96online.com. Just click on the weather tab. Aaron, back to you.
Thanks, Dustin. Well, it's estimated as many as 40 million Americans struggle with some level of dyslexia. For them, reading, writing, and even expressing themselves clearly can be frustrating and challenging. As scientists work to figure out exactly what causes dyslexia, they're getting help from an unlikely group of kids. As Clark Powell shows us, children who were born deaf may provide valuable new insights into dyslexia.
It's so good to see you again. Have a seat.
Though he was born deaf, Carson Cicchini has made remarkable progress. As a toddler, Carson got cochlear implants, which capture sound waves around him, then feed them directly to nerves near his brain.
He could not speak, and now I have a child who who reads and speaks and laughs, and he doesn't have to go to speech therapy.
It's just that kind of progress researchers were hoping to chart when they launched a study nearly a decade ago. The idea was to follow more than 100 children for years to see how cochlear implants might help them to learn. But then researchers noticed something else.
Once you begin to scratch the surface, you often find that these children have language deficits that can affect their performance in school.
In fact, the language issues these kids have are remarkably similar to dyslexia. Doctors know that kids with dyslexia have problems seeing letters in the proper order, but in a new study, Susan Nitrower of the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says these kids may have shown that hearing plays a vital role as well.
We can really connect the dots between their perception, the kind of signal that they're getting, and the sort of language problem that results.
Nitrower says by poring over a decade of research on these kids, scientists may be able to detect signs of dyslexia-like issues much earlier. Most kids aren't diagnosed until around third grade, but in this study,
we were able to identify these emerging problems in these children at kindergarten,
which could lead to tests to predict dyslexia earlier and treat it sooner. At Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center, this is Clark Powell reporting.
And coming up in today's Your Life segment, Dr. Bill Myers shows us how to let out the reins with your kids. Here with Focus on the Family.
I'm Stacy Johnson. The Supreme Court has now spoken, but how is that going to affect your financial health? I'll explain in simple terms just ahead on Money Talks News.
Your health is brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy of Deloge. We're caring for you and about you is our business. From taking time to explain your medication, offering a caring touch, to a full line of medical equipment, supplies, and diabetic shoes. We'll help you understand your options and assist you with Medicare drug plan enrollment with a comfortable waiting area, convenient drive-through or free delivery. Caring for our neighbors is our business. Your locally owned Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy just off of Highway 67 at the Deloge exit. When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
Knowing when to cut the cord with your teens approaching adulthood can be tricky. Dr. Bill Meyer has some tips in today's Focus on the Family.
I personally want to be out of there as quick as possible.
Seth's desire to be out of the house and more independent is shared by most 16-year-olds. But his parents are taking their time transferring adult responsibilities to him to see just how he handles them.
It starts out gradually with letting them go with friends, and then, once they get their license, use of car.
You kind of just judge where they are and what they've been successful with, what you've given them and they've succeeded in.
Carefully observing how your teen responds to added responsibilities and privileges will help you gauge when to let out the reins even more. One of the best ways to know if you're on track is to keep your relationship as close as possible.
Sherry and I have made it a goal to try to be as much involved with them personally one-on-one as possible, to get inside their heads, to know where they're at, so we can determine whether or not to give them freedoms and what they can do and what they can handle.
Rob and Sherry's kids recognize that their mom and dad are a lot different from their friends' parents.
Most of the time whenever we're out and stuff, they'll make us call and check in and to let them know where we're going to be and that kind of stuff, and my friends usually they don't have to do that. I guess in some ways that's good, in some ways it's bad. I mean, they get to do what they want, but then, their parents aren't as involved, so.
In the teen years, a child is likely to want less boundaries, and so there's that tendency. The teen will push for independence. Let the child know that you're in the process of releasing them.
That process never goes 100% smoothly. Each of us will make mistakes in our own parenting, but it's critical to be there for our kids, supporting them while they learn to stand on their own. With 5 boys, Sherry knows all about that.
You kind of have to dust them off and help them to get back on the right path.
For Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. Bill Meyer.
For more valuable information on life issues, relationships, and family, please visit FocusOnTheFamilyTV.com. Now that the Supreme Court has ruled on the Affordable Care Act, what will it mean to you? Money expert Stacey Johnson is here with a simple language explanation.
The nation's highest court has spoken. The most controversial part of healthcare reform, the requirement that all Americans purchase health insurance, has been ruled constitutional. That means many more Americans are going to be participating in the healthcare system soon. Now, this is a clear victory for supporters of the Affordable Care Act. So let's take another look at what that act provides. The Affordable Care Act eliminates caps on coverage. It allows kids under 26 to remain on their parents' policy. It creates state insurance marketplaces. It covers poor Americans through Medicaid. And most important, starting in 2014, it requires insurance companies to cover everyone, including those with pre-existing conditions. According to numerous polls, the vast majority of Americans favor these changes. But the majority of Americans, 51%, in a recent New York Times CBS News poll, didn't want the individual mandate to survive. But according to many experts, you can't have the added benefits without adding millions to the pool of insured Americans.
It's so brilliant to think that the marketplace, in an open, free market system, can easily provide health care for you at the lowest cost if you have the least risk individuals mixed in with the highest risk individuals.
And now it looks like that's going to happen. Bottom line, Obamacare has survived. The American healthcare system is going to continue to change. Want a more detailed but still simple explanation of what's happening? Go to MoneyTalksNews.com and search for Supreme Court. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacey Johnson. Tips to make you money delivered daily. The totally free Money Talks newsletter. Sign up now and get my money makeover video, a $50 value, as my gift.
As Stacey said, he's got more information and links at his website. To get there, just go to MoneyTalksNews.com.
And coming up in sports, the Cardinals pound the Rockies 11-6 in their series opener. The Redbirds also bolster their bullpen at the trade deadline, and the Rams' rookie cornerbacks are making a good first impression. These stories and more coming up in sports on 18 Eyewitness News.
Attention, Accutane warning. If you have Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or inflammatory bowel disease, it may have been caused by the acne drug Accutane. Accutane victims have recently been awarded millions of dollars. Do not delay. There are time deadlines to file a claim.
Call the Rely On Group now to be connected with an experienced attorney. There is absolutely no risk on your part. You don't owe us a penny unless we are successful.
Call the Rely On Group at 800-698-3105.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get the new talking meter. These new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs, and they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
For more information, call 1-800-587-7095.
This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News, with Jeremy Martin.
The Cardinals had 4 runs before the Rockies had an out Tuesday night, and despite some brief mid-game tension, the Redbirds were able to ride a late power surge to an 11-6 rout of Colorado. Alan Craig had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Matt Holliday blistered his original team with a home run and 4 RBIs, and both Carlos Beltran and David Freese added home runs at Coors Field. That show of power made a winner of Kyle Loesch, who for the first time in 8 starts allowed more than 2 runs to an opponent. The teams meet again tonight with the Cardinals' Jake Westbrook taking on the Rockies' Drew Pomeranz. With 1 hour to make a move before Tuesday's non-waiver trade deadline, the Cardinals swapped a former first-round pick to grab an arm from the Miami Marlins yard sale. The Redbirds acquired right-handed reliever Eduardo Mujica in exchange for Class AAA third baseman Zach Cox, the Cardinals' top draft choice in 2010, who has struggled at Memphis this season. The 28-year-old Mujica had a 4.38 ERA in 41 games for the Marlins this season. He is under the Cardinals' control for another season before he could be a free agent. The club is looking to use Mujica as a 7th-inning arm to bridge leads from the starter to setup man Mitchell Boggs and closer Jason Mott. The Rams knew they had to upgrade their cornerback play from last year. In April's draft, they picked up Janoris Jenkins in the second round and Trumaine Johnson in the third. And so far, the rookies are performing well. Jenkins has already been plugged in with the first-team defense and is competing to lock down that spot on a more permanent basis. Johnson is working in a backup role, but is hoping to make a quick impression. In Monday's practice, he got beat deep by rookie wideout Chris Givens, but never gave up on the play and knocked the ball away at the last second. Coach Jeff Fisher said it was the type of play that could get Johnson on the field sooner than later. And Missouri is little more than a month away from its SEC opener, and people in Columbia are doing what people with a lot of space, time, and crops do: create a corn maze to commemorate the event. Just east of the city, Mike Shryock mowed down a bunch of his crop to make one of the most elaborate corn mazes ever, dedicated to a college team at Shryock's Callaway Farms. It's got Truman the Tiger, the SEC logo, all the states that contain SEC teams, and the words "A New Era" to signify the Tigers' jump from the Big 12 to the SEC. And in case you're wondering, Shryock said he did get full licensing permission to use the logos. And that's a look at sports. Aaron and Dustin, back over to you.
Well, Dustin, we're officially into the first day of August, and kids just have a couple of more weeks of summer to enjoy, but they've seen plenty of hot weather throughout the summer months, right?
They're probably ready to go back to enjoy the air conditioning because it's been hot out there, and it's going to continue to be hot. We are in a terrible drought and not a lot of relief in sight. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. We do have a little bit of relief in sight as far as in some rainfall. Showers and thunderstorms for the next couple of days through the weekend. Temperature around 100 on Thursday, and then mid-90s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Starting to warm things back up by next week, and we're going to see plenty of sunshine next week. So if you don't like the rain, I'm sorry, but we actually do need the rainfall. So every bit of rainfall that we get, we will need.
I remember here at the station last week sometime it rained. We looked out the door and we couldn't believe it. We're like, what is this? It's snowing?
And
what is this rain? What is this cloud cover?
And Jeremy Martin's running down the hallway, flipping out and
doing his rain dance.
Doing his rain dance. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on 18 Eyewitness News. We'll see you again tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Aaron Cox.
And I'm Dustin Kopp. News Watch is next. Have a great evening.
Do you see news happening in your neighborhood? Email us at news@kdkz.tv.
Here's what's coming up tonight on KDKZ 18.